Hey guys, Calvin Allen here. I wanted to make a video talking about the lighting setup at Greenbrier Church utilizing a software called Lightkey on a Mac computer to run the DMX lighting for the sanctuary. So here it is. This is Lightkey right here. Absolutely love it. Was using another software before that was very cumbersome, not a lot of fun. Pardon me while I check to make sure there's audio. All right, I heard audio. I've actually made this video once before, and then I realized it was not having any audio whatsoever. Good times. All right, now we're back. So this is Lightkey. This is the software that controls the lights in the sanctuary at Greenbrier Church. So down here are different live presets that are set up that you can switch to throughout the service. Very pretty, very beautiful. Nice to look at too on here. But this is a bird's eye view of our sanctuary and where the lights are positioned within it. So it's very helpful. You're able to build this. So I'm going to start from the very beginning. So DMX, I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm going to give you the very basics of it. So right here is a DMX universe. It starts from 1 and it ends at 512. You put the lights on the different channels and basically make it connect. So you'll see up here that some of these lights take up more channels than the others, and some of them really take a lot of space. Wow, that's a lot of space. So different lights are going to require more channels. So your basic regular lamp that either turns on or off or dims in between that spectrum of being fully on or fully off, that's going to simply take one channel. But when you get more complicated and you are utilizing a fancier light that's, let's say, a LED color bar that has multiple colors, each section of it can change colors, and it can strobe and do a whole bunch of other effects. Those are going to take more addresses to be able to utilize all the features that they have. So the fancier the lights, the more addresses it's going to take. Luckily here, as you can see, we're not even using half of the universe. We have a whole other half, which is great. Probably will never, unless we have crazy lights that do backflips, can spin around, spit out bubbles and fog and all of that. We're probably not going to have to worry about this. But we have more than enough to expand, because I'm sure down the road we will expand, because we've already expanded. This up here in this section did not exist. So in the expansion we've already done, we've already taken up a good chunk. So if we expand in the future, we're going to take more. So this is the universe. This is where you build everything in. Another important thing that I'll show you down the road as I attempt to show you the sanctuary and film while I'm live streaming this is, I remember the first time I was wanting to expand the light setup at Greenbrier, and I was so worried because I was thinking Christmas lights, daisy chaining, and the only output available was on a light on the opposite end of what I needed to connect my light to. I wanted a new light on the stage, but my only option was way off the stage on the opposite side. So addressing, beautiful thing. So on the actual lights themselves, you can tell them what channel to start on. You can program the channel on the actual DMX light fixture, so that way it matches wherever you need it to be. So that's, say I've already installed all these lights and I need a light here that's actually going to be on the stage. I don't have to go to the last one on the wall, which I think actually is this one right here. I don't have to go to that and take the cable, which is a DMX cable that's a 3-prong, looks very similar to a microphone cable XLR. You can use both, but I would not recommend it. Use a DMX cable, or else things are going to potentially get crazy. Anyways, you don't have to connect a super long cable from the back to the front of the stage. All you have to do is separate one of the lights from the stage and connect the new one, then take the output of that one and back to the old and continue that connection for everything, but it doesn't mess up the chain and where and how the lights are controlled, because each light is going to only be controlled by the address. It doesn't matter where it is on the cabling chain. It's all about the address, which makes it so much easier. Thank you, Jesus. All right, so that's the universe. Going back here, so let's say you've created your universe. You have your lights in, and now you get to this editing screen here. And then here you can position all your lights where you need it to be. So that way you can see where it is, visually see the sanctuary or venue wherever you're creating this light scheme. So that way you see it, visual. So then over here is where you would build your new lights. So let's say I press this button up here, and I can create a preset, and I can create something that will control the lights. So let's go in here and try to control something. But first, let me close this out so that way that's not in the way. So let's go here. And I have this empty one here. And now I'm in edit mode, and I can make this color or this color, make it fully bright, fully lit, or dim it to a different temperature. I can do a whole lot of things. And then depending on the light, you can go into a lot of cool stuff like effects. So many things you can do. It's a lot of fun. All right, so after we've set things up the way we want them to be set up, oh, there we go. Look at that, got some lights, very cool. You press the update over here, and now that preset is made. But wait, there's more. So you see this little section down here. This is where you're gonna drag this down to, and then it's part of the live design setup. And down here on this dashboard, if you will, is where you're going to really control the lights within your event or venue, sanctuary, wherever you're setting up your lights. And that's going to be the place where you're going to want to control it, because this is where you can use other software or hardware to control these lights externally via MIDI. So one software you can control this from is ProPresenter. So in ProPresenter, this is that same light that I'm on over here. So back over here again. Worship 1 is over here. And then you go into this menu, and this shows you your MIDI setup. This is where you see how things are talking or what's talking to each other. Which software or hardware are given a handshake to Lightkey so that things work smoothly. So I'm going to go right here, and this is Worship 1, and you're going to see it's triggering a button. Its command is to turn a note on or off. And then you see, oh, here's channel 2. In MIDI world, there's 16 channels you can utilize for the notes. Let's just say there's a lot of notes. So there's a wide number. You're not going to run out anytime soon, especially having different channels. It's on feedback default. The action is activate or deactivate a cue. Over here's the cues, over here's the cues. These are presets. These are cues. And the cue is Worship 1, and behavior, activate. So you'll notice it's channel 2, C#, -2, and some of the things that it's connected to is a IAC driver that's going from Lightkey to, I'm sorry, from ProPresenter to Lightkey, because ProPresenter Pro 7 is controlling Lightkey. So how that is built is on the Mac, there's this audio MIDI setup, and then there's the IAC driver. You open that up, and it's in here where you build your ports. You can add, if you press the plus sign, you can create a port or a bus, and it's just going to give it a random name. You can name it whatever you want. So I have specifically named these Pro 7 to OSC, Pro 7 to Lightkey, Pro 7 to Pro 7. Basically, from those different softwares, we're going to see the same name pop up so we know which port we are connecting to. So I'm just going to exit out of here. I'm not going to apply. I don't want to save any of the weird changes that I did because I didn't really do anything that I needed to save. So I'm exiting out of this. So now I'm back here. And as you see those names, the IAC driver, the ProPresenter to Lightkey, and all the other ones as well. So we already saw the number, channel 2, then it was C# negative, whatever it was. So over here, hey, look over here, and I won't go into the nitty gritty, but here's some of the MIDI setup over here. And if I was editing this, I would see, hey, that's channel 2. It's C# negative 2. That's the same thing that it was connected to previously. I'm able to see what IAC driver it's connected to. It's the Pro 7 to Lightkey, so I know it's the correct one. And when I'm controlling this in here, it is controlling the lights in Lightkey. Super cool. I love it. It's awesome. Super fancy. So that's how everything connects. It's fairly similar when it's physical hardware. They're going to have MIDI notes as well to make it all talk and connect. Back in Lightkey, just wanted you to see this. This is the universe. Again, all those channels we're not utilizing, but here's the channels that we are utilizing. I'm going to go to a light that is constantly changing the LED colors on a lot of the lights. So you're going to see that this is more active. It's not static. It's moving. It's changing the signal because it's calling for a different signal feed to those specific lights. Pretty cool. It's like entering the Matrix. So this makes things so much easier. In an event, you can use another software. Let's say ProPresenter is an example. You're able to control with a click of a button. You press that and the lights change. You click this and I know you can't see it, but the lights change. I'll give you a little example. I'm going to try to shrink this down a little bit. All right. So this is Lightkey in the background, and this is ProPresenter 7, and it's controlling stuff. So I'm going to press this. Whoop. Hold on. That's so funny. Gotta love it when I mess something up when I'm live streaming. How embarrassing. Just make sure the ports are still working correctly. Apply. Make sure everything's still talking. Oops. This is funny. Alright, so now we're back to this. Everything should be connected correctly. Any input. So I'm going to close this real quick just in case this is being funny. And then I'm going to reopen it. So funny when that happens live. Alright, so we're back here. Now we get to troubleshoot live to see if it works, if it was just a fluke. And sometimes you just gotta close ProPresenter, because I might have just messed things up when I went into the driver thing, and I just need to turn the stuff off and turn it back on to make it all communicate again. Alright, so now when I'm in here, everything is still loading. Alright, so now you can see, since I have both softwares open, I'm going to go up here and press this, and look at that, the lights changed. So AV Lesson 101 for troubleshooting: unplug, replug, or turn off the software and restart it. I think it's just because I went into the AC drivers, but hey, you got to see a problem live and how to fix it. 99.9% of the time, you're literally just going to unplug, replug, or turn off and turn it back on. Close software, reopen software. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. So now I'm going to attempt to do something interesting. I'm going to attempt to move my camera, switch how the camera is working from my phone, so that way it's coming in from a different device. Is this going to work? Who knows? We're going to find out shortly. It's going to lag a little bit, I will say that, but it's all good. It'll do what we need it to do, basically. All right. So you can hear me, you can see me. I'm going to... Actually, I don't want that. This is what I want. So here I am. As you can see, there's latency. But that's okay. We're going to go walk around the sanctuary real quick. So over here is the Smart Pack. Long story short, this is what controls it. That's a big DMX dimmer pack that controls these lamps. It powers these lamps. So all these lamps are receiving power by this smart box. And this is connected to the DMX chain, so you're able to make those lights dim. The rest of the DMX lighting from all the different LEDs that you see up here and on the stage, they're all eventually coming back over here, going into this, and then this is coming over here. It is going through a cable in the wall, coming here, and then it's connecting to this NTEC to USB device that's going into the computer over here. So one thing that I wanted to show you was the addressing and where it's going to be. It's probably, but all right, so down here. There we are. It's going to be upside down. If you could see that upside down on top or whatever you're watching this on, that's going to say D141, and that tells you that it's starting on the address chain addressing on the software. So since this is connected to the software via that DMX to talk to this, because on the right channel, and when I control things on that channel, it's going to pretty cool. All right, so then I'm gonna walk back over here, or run as fast as I can. All right, coming back in here. I'm hoping and praying that the stream is still working, that you can still hear my voice and all that good stuff. Oh yes. Should be good. Should be good. Switch this back over here. All right. You can hear my voice again, but you don't see me. Where'd I go, you may be wondering. I'm still here. Don't you worry. I'm just going to connect my phone the way that I had it connected previously, so that way you can see my face again. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. But don't need that audio, so goodbye audio. Switching that around. Hey, look at that. I'm back. Kind of zoomed in a little bit. There we go. That's better. All right, well, that's the basic setup on how all the stuff works for Lightkey, how everything's connected, how things are shaking hands, talking to each other, working. You saw the interface that connects the actual physical lights to the computer and all that good stuff. There are plenty of videos online, much better videos than this, that will explain the different softwares and hardwares and how to connect them in better detail probably. But this will give you the basic idea of what to look for, where to look for things within the sanctuary. And then troubleshooting, the biggest thing is, as you saw me having to fix in real time, turn off, unplug, replug, turn back on, close the software, reopen the software. And then if that doesn't work, then you have to go through the routing of where everything's connected. If it's is it on the right address to route it to here? In the separate software, are they connected via the same MIDI note to talk to each other? So then you have to have that routing mindset. It's like a big puzzle piece, and you're making sure that everything's in its right spot so that way it works. Because if it's not, then you're going to run into a lot of problems. So know where everything's routed, know the setup of how it all talks to each other, and then you're good to go. Hopefully this was helpful. Want to say that God loves you. He thinks you're amazing so much that he died on a cross so that you could have freedom and new life in him. So choose him today, as I'm hitting this mic over and over again, because I'm just so excited about Jesus and what he's done for me. And I want you to have a transformative life through him as well. So be blessed. Hope this video was helpful, and have a great morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you're watching this. Bye.